Welcome back, everyone, to Dropped Frames. Going to the second hour here. Let's talk about other games besides fighting games.
Please,
They do
it's my whole
exist.
life. Dank Souls or something. There was a trailer. It looked cool.
That's true.
Jose, real quick, can I just throw this in here haphazardly and out of nowhere? And
All right.
it has nothing to do with popular games
Let's
or
do it.
anything like that.
Okay.
There's a game on Steam that I've been playing for years now, off stream. I've streamed it one time, had the developer on. It is an old school RPG game, and it is not graphic intense, but it is a fucking phenomenal game. And it's called Tales, and I've always pronounced it this way. I have no idea what it really pronounced because I haven't conversations with people. Tales of Maj'Eyal.
What?
And it's called Tales of Maj'Eyal. And when you look at it, it looks like an old school, like from the 90s kind of RPG. Not like Final Fantasy, but more like if you're familiar with games like Realms or I don't know how it's like a top-down 2D, and you take it's a turn-based game, and you move around, you collect loot and everything. This is incredible, and it's been incredible for years. And the development behind it is this guy Dark God, who's amazing, and it's a roguelike game, and it is just I can't say enough good things about it. And they just dropped a new exactly. This is the game. I know it looks like crap, I know, but this game has so much depth. And it just released its new expansion, Embers of Rage, and they've added 3 new classes. And this guy he's just got such incredible detail to the lore.
What
Look
the
at
fuck?
that lore that popped up. Is
this like Dwarf Fortress, where it goes into like the lineage of your entire world and shit? Like, is it random?
does, but you can pay as much attention to that as you want to. That's not.
But is it randomized like Dwarf Fortress in that sense, where it populates all that shit?
It has like pre-made areas, but the enemies and the loot that you find in those areas are randomized basically on a certain scale. So I might walk into a place like this place right here that we're looking at, which is one of the orc fortresses, right? I might walk in there and it's a breeze one playthrough, right?
Yeah.
But the next playthrough, I might run into a named boss that can do this and this and that, and he might give me some trouble and end up killing me. It's very hardcore. In fact, I've only beaten the game over the last couple of years. I just beat it for the 3rd time with a different class. And there's like 1,600 achievements. There's
What
different
the fuck?
The game is so in depth and it's so good, and it's not overly complicated like Dwarf Fortress, but it's not necessarily easy to grasp. I'm still learning things. I had to say something. It's one of those games that's self-conscious because it gets so much judgment from the graphics. But I feel like I would be a bad person and a bad streamer if I didn't just say, hey, if you're into this kind of art and if you're into this kind of game, you love deep concept RPGs. I'm talking really deep customization, character building with unique classes, unique races. We're talking in the 20s, like each. This is the kind of game you want to check out. It has
I just like this graphic, right? Like this right here is just like,
dude, it's just a guy, man.
It just encapsulates exactly what you're gonna get from this game.
But it's like one guy who just loves this game, and he keeps up with it. When you're playing, you can go online or not. It's a single player game, not running into other people.
Yeah.
But you can keep up with your stats and your inventory and stuff. And he usually, pretty much daily, sends out special events while you're playing. So you'll be playing, and he'll be like,
So it's super interactive.
Yeah. Like, oh man, this happened and this new place is opened up. Go check it out. It's for these levels while you're playing, blah, blah, blah. And it'll put on like a one-time only special zone for you. And you go in, like the last one I think I went into was the Bearscape. And it was all bears. And there was like named bears and boss bears. It's just a fun thing, but he's like super into it and he loves it. It's not one of those trash fucking early access games. Sorry, I'm getting a little passionate. Where it's like you pay the money and then nothing happens and the people give up on it. This is a guy that's been running it from his fucking heart, man. And it's
Interesting.
And it's like $1 right now.
Yeah, it's $1.74 or a 4-pack. Why is there a 4-pack? Is there co-op or something?
No, but why wouldn't you throw up a 4-pack?
There's a 4-pack for $5.
Yeah.
If you want to gift it to your friends.
It's like $1. I don't mean to plug it too much or anything. It's an incredible game. I've been having so much fun with it. And in fact, it's up. Like it's open on my computer right now. Like I've left it open since last night because I haven't. Play it,
and let me bring this back up. He's moving
like
so fast here.
Games.
Is it turn based?
Movements is a turn. Every one of those movements is a turn. Think about like you have all these abilities and these items at your disposal that can do certain things on different cooldowns.
Sure.
Every encounter provides different like puzzles. this guy might have high resistance to acid, and I have acid attack. So what am I going to do? Am I going to try this attack? What are my options? Can I teleport away? Can I run away real quickly? And everything's done on like a global speed, right? Everybody's kind of running around the same time, but you can increase your speed with items and stuff, which will make you move 0.2% faster in a turn. So every fifth turn, you're going to get an extra attack, stuff like that.
Do you play this fast, or is this guy just, is it sped up?
This is kind of, it depends on the difficulty. This guy's playing pretty normal. This looks like normal difficulty. So you would run around and everything, but you'll get killed real quick out of nowhere. It'll happen real fast if you're not careful. So the cautious players take time. And they really calculate what they're doing and what kind of resistance is what I'm going to do. So it just depends. There's a lot of skill level, but there's one where it allows you a certain amount of levels based, or a certain amount of lives based on your levels. There's one that only gives you 1 life. There's an arena. There's an infinite dungeon. There's two completely full campaigns now.
I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, nobody has, and that's why I'm saying it, because it's a great fucking game.
I mean, it's got a lot of, it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam with 1,500 reviews. So.
That's a game I tried very hard to like it. I saw like the depth of it, and there's a lot of customization. There's a lot of numbers. I mean, it's a very heavy RPG.
Yeah.
And if you can get into it, like if you can like enjoy the combat and stuff, there's like Elo's been. I mean, Elo, you just said you've been playing it for years now, right?
Yeah, and I still there's still classes I haven't unlocked. Not everything's unlocked at the beginning. Like you might start with a character. I'm going to be a berserker this time. I go in and a fungal forest opened up, and I go through the fungal forest. There's like a 30% chance that might pop up on this playthrough, and I go do it, and then once it's done, I'm able to unlock the Oozemancer class. And the Oozemancer has all these other abilities. And you can play through as the Oozemancer. And maybe when you play through as the Oozemancer, you might unlock the Skirmisher, or you might unlock a new race, or you might unlock a treasure chest that you can take with you run through run that will easily manage the items that you're finding. Like there's all these little, like a Rod of Recall. There's some things that'll go game to game. Some things are unique to each character that you unlock. And like I said, they got just shit tons of achievements.
1,600. Some of the achievements have 0%.
It's one of those games that you feel it's like, this is what Steam was made for.
Yeah. This would not exist on any other platform. Yeah.
Something
no big publisher. You can just get it and play.
Yeah. And I'm not joking. There's an Oozemancer class. There's like Oozemancers, Archmages, Necromancers.
There you go.
Skirmishers, Archers, Bulwarks. I mean, everything that you can imagine. And you don't just get them all at once. You're like, you have this, unlock, have fun, explore.
What were we going to say, Co?
Oh, with the achievements, they just released a big expansion.
Oh, okay. That's probably where a lot of those coming from.
Yeah. And that's true too. So
the game they're talking about is Tales of Maj'Eyal.
Yeah.
It's a really, really deep game. For me, the issue was like, I liked everything but the game itself. I know that sounds weird, but it's like I loved everything. I loved the depth. I loved the classes. I loved the customization. But the entire game is moving, attacking, and there's like a button you can hit to auto explore, which really I
love that. Actually,
so I don't like the
meticulous.
I felt like the game was playing itself. Like I don't know. It will
take the auto explorer is a button that I use frequently. I use it all the time when I play, and it will make sure that you're checking every bit of the map and you're picking up everything. But as soon as a enemy becomes visible, it stops. It'll be like, okay, you've encountered a dude over there. Now you can use that in normal quite a bit, but as the difficulty scales, it's very, very fucking dangerous to just set yourself on an auto run around. So I get what you're saying, Co. And it is niche. It's super niche, and we can move on. But
man, if you get into it,
Primal,
it is so...
not Far Cry Primal, all these AAA titles, but it's
no. Fuck Far Cry Primal, all right.
I feel the same way. But
Fuck Cry Primal.
It's something I've been enjoying for years. It's $1.79 fucking cents, the price of a
crazy
burger, and I just had to say something while I'm here and I have this platform. So I'm done.
Well, there you go. Let's talk about another game you've been playing, and so have so many broadcasters because they're getting paid to play it. What the fuck is Atlas Reactor, and why are so many people? Co, you're being paid right after this.
I'm doing a sponsored stream.
Why is so many? There's so many sponsored streams for this game right now. So what the fuck is it, Elo and Co?
Okay, now Elo's I think the only person who's actually played it. So why don't we start with him?
What am I looking at here?
I'm ranting about games, but I'll do it again.
All right, this?
So Atlas Reactor is a kind of a genre of itself kind of game. It's trying to take things that are familiar but do it in kind of a new way. So we've been battling back and forth with the different types of what is this, trying to categorize it into a certain thing. If I had to, I would say it's probably a mix of XCOM combat, turn-based combat, League of Legends teamwork and abilities masked with like a Borderlands graphics style. And basically what happens is during a turn, it's a 20-second turn, and you get to set up different attacks and movements during that turn. When you then decide, I want to shoot this, I want to move here, I want to do all this stuff, it all happens simultaneously. So the turn is then everyone does their 20 seconds, and then the turn plays itself out. And so it becomes a chess game of trying to catch people, counterattacks, moving with your team, combining abilities, much like Overwatch. It's very Overwatchy when it comes to their abilities and how they synergize. And it's a really, really good game. It's a good game. And it's tough. You know what? It's so tough to say that because we were sponsored to play it, right?
Oh yeah, you actually can't say that. No one's gonna believe that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna believe it because we were sponsored, right? But the thing is that it was one of those few instances where everything just lined up right. I'm interested in playing the game. It looks good. They sponsor, which is money that supports the stream, and then it ends up being a really good game. It's not like we're forcing anything. And if it wasn't a good game, we make sure, I know at least Coh and I can speak for Coh on this, we make sure in our contracts that we have the flexibility to say, this game sucks and this is why. And
right.
We don't
you actually,
otherwise. Yeah.
Well, you actually can't sign contracts with that anymore because the FCC was like, yeah, make sure that.
But, I mean, Jay, let's be honest. There's ways they can get around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. For sure.
I've been offered ways around that and just been like,
sure.
Absolutely not. Like bonus money for speaking favorably.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
That
something
is
that I'm interested in.
That's actually illegal, but I'm glad
Well,
he said.
here's the thing is that's
Yeah,
not
I'm
something
glad he
that
said
I'm
no to that.
interested in either way morally, and I don't think Coh is either. So I know Coh is.
hell no.
Anyways, this game, like Cobalt said it, he was on his stream last night, and he's like, "Am I crazy, guys? Like, am I crazy for liking this game?" He's like, "This is a really good game." Like, Cobalt's been playing it a ton. I played it off stream with him for 2 or 3 hours just last night.
Well, I mean, Cobalt plays Binding of Isaac, not so. I mean, really,
It's a good. Wait, what?
I'm gonna get so much.
Did you just, like, discredit Cobalt's pick of game? Well, he does play Binding of Isaac.
He does play Binding of Isaac for like 3,000 plus hours this year already. So
It does
For
have
like 7,000 plus viewers.
I'm not saying he doesn't get viewers for it. It doesn't make it a good game, though.
Wow, shitting on this guy's bread and butter.
I'm totally fucked. I've never played Binding of Isaac.
You know, it's also dumb. D&D.
It's the worst. Yeah, it's real dumb.
Stupid talk shows.
Plays
Be
roles.
like fighting games are ass, man.
I know, right?
So this game
man.
does have some issues, right? It's in alpha, but it's like a Blizzard alpha where it's like so polished that doesn't feel like an alpha.
So not an alpha, in other words.
It's like not an alpha, yeah. They're making a lot of changes. They're really open to feedback at Tryon, and they're wanting to make just a really incredible game. And I think it's got some really, really solid systems and features right now that could make it a really great game. I really believe it. It's you know what I know? You know what I find whenever I jump off of a sponsored stream and then later that day I jump back on to play more and I'm not streaming and I'm just playing because I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It had that kind of feel to it. And
Is it free to play eventually, or is there?
Yes, that's the idea. Is that it will be
Okay.
free to play. I think they're going to have heroes under certain laws. I don't know about the. I should really not even comment about the payment thing. 'Cause
Sure.
I don't know very well.
Okay.
That immediately makes me concerned. I was not aware it was free to play.
Yeah, see,
Well-
okay, exactly. See, I say let's reserve judgment on that.
Yeah.
Because we have no fucking idea.
I have no idea, but to me, when I see a company, I've seen 11 sponsored broadcasts for this in the past week. When I see something like that going on, I think two things. One, it's straight up free to play game. And two, they're throwing as much money as possible to get as many accounts registered for this thing as fast as possible. And I have no idea what the actual game's about. But as a viewer,
Does
like I
have
really...
kind of a- Go ahead.
No, as a viewer, I don't, and maybe this is just me. I'll definitely be reading chat to see what they think. But like, is that something that gets you interested in a game when you see so many sponsored broadcasts for it, or does that turn you away from it?
Yeah, exactly. The second one. That it's from a viewer perspective, when you see a huge amount of streamers play a game with sponsored in their title, and then a week later no one's playing the game.
Right.
That is a huge
Well,
issue. But
that's
see, it's
really-
kind of interesting
hold
because
on,
it's a
hold on a
gamble.
second.
It's a gamble by Tryon, because what
It
they're
is.
hoping is that exactly what Elo was just saying about Cobalt. They're hoping that they're going to pay people to play it, and that some people will really like it, and then they'll keep streaming it. I mean, if Cobalt really likes it and he starts streaming it afterwards, that's a win.
That's like
means
the whole
campaign
goal.
will-
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Just because a game isn't streamable doesn't mean that it's not fun. And this game, and one of its my biggest critiques with this is that to the person watching, it is very difficult to immediately understand what's happening on the screen. Because
Like League of Legends?
Yeah, no. I'm talking about Altus.
No, I'm saying though, like if you don't know what's
Yeah,
going
like
on,
League of Legends. Yeah, like you don't understand. A lot of people don't understand what's happening in League of Legends. It's even worse in this because I feel like people don't understand how the everything happens simultaneous part of it. Right.
Right.
It's difficult to watch. But just because, and here's the thing too. A lot of these games, when they come out, they want us to do a sponsored stream for a week or something like that. And then they go back into hiding. Like a lot of times they take their product and they say, play with it for a weekend. We're going to sponsor you. And then you don't have that. We don't have access to that for another couple of months. So what it looks like is that we don't like that game, or we're not playing that game anymore. But the people who have allowed us to play it have taken it back, and nobody has access to it until it releases. Look at Overwatch. For like, December and January, people were like, why aren't you streaming Overwatch? Oh, I thought you liked Overwatch, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I can't even play the game yet. Like they took it away from us.
Right.
Like, and I still play Overwatch, here and there, probably once or twice a week, something like that. But it just and this Co more than anybody, just because a game it isn't streamable, like I said, isn't streamable. I mean, it's not visually fun to watch, does not mean that it's a bad game.
I totally feel you there, but why are you saying Atlas Reactor isn't streamable?
Because I think it has problems right now with people understanding what's happening.
I mean,
It's like strategy RPG-ish, like very much old school. Like even it reminds me of like PlayStation 1 era strategy RPG. And I love some of those games, and I don't want to stream them because they're super slow paced and like anticipating like what the hell is going to happen and what to do. It's not a good streaming situation.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like Tales of Maj'Eyal, like I was talking about before. I love that game. I've been playing it for years. I don't stream it though because I know that my crowd's not going to necessarily dig the genre. They're not going to dig the graphics of it, that kind of thing. So, I wouldn't disregard this. I wouldn't disregard when there's like I think it's a fault. I think there's fault in saying if we have all these streamers play this game for a week and then we go away. It just kills the vibe. Oh, we were just paid to play it, and that means it's a bad game, or that means like it's not going to be successful, or it's just off the radar. There's a lot of cases happening there that we don't have access to the game, or the game isn't necessarily a streamable, interactive kind of. It's not built that way. It just simply isn't.
Right.
Okay.
But go ahead, Co.
Well, I see.
I think we're
going
gonna
to
say the same thing,
and that makes sense. But the thing that's a little confusing to me is like, let's say they paid 40 broadcasters to stream it sponsored. The reason they're doing that is because they're trying to, like you said, make the game aware, make more people see it, make more people understand it, so it becomes a streamable game. Like the whole reason they're blitzing Twitch right now, which is essentially a form of blitz marketing, they're doing that 100%. In the hopes to give it a foothold on Twitch so people will understand it and watch it and look at it.
Well, honestly, I don't necessarily think it's always to get a foothold on Twitch.
I think it is. I think marketing teams have built around Twitch these days.
Most
100%.
of the time that is the case. I think 99% of the time it is the case to get a
Do you think they don't think their game is streamable?
Hold on a second. I'm not talking about Atlas Reactor specifically. I'm talking about games in general that we are sponsored to stream. I don't think it's always the practice of the marketing team to be big on Twitch. I don't think that that's always the
I think
practice.
if it's not, they're a bad marketing team.
Yeah.
You really do? You think that like
100%?
And a waste of money.
There's more going on than just Twitch when it comes to games and selling it, guys. I mean, you can
for a marketing team.
I know, but
they're doing this is math.
You can get the word out about a game through streaming and just want to expose your game to an audience and not necessarily. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they want to be big on Twitch, but I don't think that's always the strategy. I don't think that's always the strategy when it comes to marketing. Not always. I would say 99% of the time, but I think that there's more there that they're looking for than just, hey, I want this to be the top game on Twitch all the time. That would be great.
Well, I mean,
I want that ultimately, but I don't think every marketing campaign that we deal with, that's the number one thing,
Well,
I feel
my thinking is if people sponsor a title because they want people to play it and expose their community to the title,
Right.
in the hopes of broadening out the reach of that. The whole point of paying us to stream games is to get the word out. It's to get more people doing it. It's to get the whole, like, it's to bring all that Twitch community into their game. So the thinking is that the chain reaction of continuing to stream it, liking it, becoming an Atlas Reactor streamer, like that would be where they'd want to go with it. That would be the progression. But and going back to like the whole reason this conversation started, if for a game that it doesn't have a story, so there's not like a beginning and an end. It's not like a, you know, we're gonna play the story of this game and then we're done with it and there's no reason to stream it again. Atlas Reactor isn't like that at all. Atlas Reactor is essentially XCOM LOL. It is a League of Legends type game.
When we're talking about Atlas Reactor specifically, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. I think that's what we were talking about though. Like they're trying to break into the Twitch MOBA community with this game by blitzing all these streamers. And JP's question is, do you think if those sponsored streamers no longer stream the game after the sponsored, how does it make the game look? And we're saying it looks bad.
Well, not even that. It's just
I was responding specifically to a comment.
You're talking like broader.
Oh no, we're all gonna change who we are. I'm
actually
talking.
Just code Max.
I was responding specifically. I was
Yeah.
responding specifically to the comment that that because we don't play these games, or because we don't stream these games, that after we do sponsorships, that somehow these games aren't good and we were only paid to say nice things about them, or we were only paid to enjoy this game this one time. And what you're saying is the evidence of that is because we don't stream it. But the thing is there's plenty of games. This is my argument. Is there's plenty of games that are fun that I play off stream that I don't stream. And there's many reasons for it, but one of them isn't because it's a bad game. So I think it's a faulty line of thinking to say, hey, since this streamer isn't playing this game anymore, it must be a bad game. No, there's more factors that go into it than that. In fact, will go. How often are you guys annoyed when somebody comes in the chat and you've been playing, you know, JP Overwatch for a week, and then the next day you decide to play Street Fighter 5, and I'm sure somebody in your chat was going, "Did you give up on Overwatch?"
Oh yeah, all the time.
Did you quit Overwatch? You know, like people think that if you're not streaming that game right then, right there, that somehow it means it's a bad game.
But I think with the benefit of it, or detriment of it being a sponsored stream, meaning that you are gaining money, whatever it is that you're gaining through that stream, and then you don't play it again, or you see, really what I was pointing to is the fact that there's X amount of broadcasters in the multitudes streaming it all at the same time, and then none of them play it the next week. That's what looks bad.
But next week we're not going to be able to play it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we're not going to be allowed to play it next week.
Well, then that's just a bad idea.
Fault.
Yeah, that's their fault.
Like in terms of marketing, like they were thinking low level marketing, eyes exposure, and they weren't thinking the fact that all of a sudden you guys, even if you do like the game and it's super good and you can't play it, that comes off across. It's kind of like it's effective low level marketing, eyes, but it's not effective high level marketing where it's like the aftermath of what was done. So I mean that's kind of the issue with sponsored streams in general, is that as soon as it's over, does he go back to it? Oh no, he hates the game, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I just wanted to be clear that sometimes we don't have access to these games after these sponsored streams. You know, there's other issues that pop up than, hey, we're just not playing this game anymore because we made our dollar and moved on. You know, that kind of.
I wasn't discrediting. I was not discrediting streamers at all.
Your opinions are all different from mine. So
I was discrediting the fact that the marketing team fucked up. Streamers, for the streamers, fuck. I'm happy that, you know, X amount of my friends are getting paid to play a game. That's fantastic for them. It means our industry is healthy and it's setting a standard. But for a company, I just think this is not a smart idea to do.
Next week on Drop Frames, Tryon representatives coming in to tell us how.
and maybe that's, you know, maybe
this video is being claimed on YouTube.
That's something I don't disagree with you guys when you say that it's bad marketing. You know, to have it there and then have it go away. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that that's good marketing. Okay, I agree with you guys. What I'm saying is more goes into it than just, hey, they're not streaming it anymore.
Sure.
That sucks.
100%.
And that's just like viewer perspective, you know. That's we get that with everything. Like you try out a game where all of a sudden it's like, Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of the year, and I didn't get a chance to play it like all the time, but I keep saying it's my favorite. And Max is sponsored by Sony to say that, you know, people that is just a common perception on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh well. But I think you guys are right in a lot of ways. There was just a couple of things that you said that I felt strongly and passionately that I needed to clarify exactly what was going on there.
Gotcha.
But
so this game's not available next week. It's in closed whatever beta.
Yes, it's tonight is the last night you're able to play it, and then it's closed for a while. But people that get in tonight, and I know like a bunch of us are giving away keys and stuff, will get in the next round whenever that is.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
There's one thing that is going to be open for a while, I've heard, is Nick Cage pillows, and I'm going to need more of those, Elo. I don't know if anybody
you know what, stage.
Like, I'm getting really upset that you have pillows of a dude that looks awkwardly like me.
Why do you have Nicolas Cage?
Very uncomfortable.
Well, listen. Okay, so Cora redid my office for Christmas, and she had these, like,
I remember that.
my couches with my emblem on them and everything, brand. And in Cora, like typical Cora fashion, she can't just do like one thing entirely nice. She has to have like 2% troll with it. So she brought pillows up, and they're all Nicolas Cage pillows. I like touch
Fantastic
during the stream sometimes, and like, Nick, talk to me. What should I do? Should I move this way? Should I move that way?
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, the rainbow one, Nicolas Cage looks more beautiful than he ever has.
He does.
3 separate Nicolas Cage pillows up. Anyways, we're derailing. You know what? How about this? I challenge you guys. I think tonight's like the last night you can actually play it before they rein it back.
Oh, I'm not being paid to play that. I would only play that game if I was being paid.
And that's a mistake. The game's good. The game's really good. Ko, you're going to play it tonight. How about this, Ko? You're going to play it. Well, maybe not Ko, because he doesn't really get into the Overwatch thing either, in the League of Legends thing. But
hey, I've played more Overwatch than anyone on this cast for the last 2 weeks. Just throwing that out there.
That's a flat out lie. What are you talking about?
I've streamed Overwatch almost every day the last 2 weeks.
So have I.
Yeah, but you're bad at it.
I do like 3 or 4 hours a morning. Anyway,
I've seen some pretty crazy plays out of Ko. I have one specifically where I was playing Reinhardt and we were playing together, and I smacked this Pharah off of this balcony, and she fell off, but she started kind of rocket her way back up, like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna get back to the ledge, and Ko dive bombs out of nowhere with his own Pharah. Boom! Direct rocket kills her. We have an odd shot somewhere. It's fucking incredible. Anyways.
Nice. Ko's he's been good with Reaper as well. I've been
that game is so
enjoying
much
his
fun
Reaper.
with friends, man.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to the console version of Overwatch.
There's Overwatch, and then there's Overwatch with friends.
Yeah, and then there's Only
like
Watch
two
on
completely
Twitch.
different games.
Yeah, it's we talked about it last week, but yeah, it's still. I've now discovered that my relationship with Overwatch is one of the exact same relationship with Hearthstone, whereas I respect the game. It's a great game. I love playing the game. But unless there's something else that's like keeping me there, whether it's friends or whether it's something else, I fucking can't stand to play that game by myself.
Yep.
Like I fucking hate it.
One of the big pushes for me is I'd been doing Rainbow Six like almost every evening for like 2 months almost. And I started playing Overwatch a little bit, playing with streamers and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like all my buddies from Rainbow Six started sending me friend requests. So now it's like I can start up Overwatch and get an almost full group, like just right there ready to go. So, yeah, it's wild how much that can happen. And I'm already thinking like, yeah, Overwatch is awesome, but it's like I wonder what the next Overwatch is going to be. Like, you know, it's not the game; it's just the fact that that's where a lot of the Twitch community is right now.
Yeah,
so it's fun to play there. Is in the odd shot is actually posted in the chat now.
Nice.
Check it out. That play it was pretty cool.
I will say I played Rainbow Six last night or yesterday for maybe 30 minutes was the most I could stand. That game is actually. The netcode is fucking trash now. It is so fucking like I thought that patch had fixed it. It's so fucking bad.
Wait, what
Actually,
game?
the most recent patch messed it up again.
Wait,
really?
what game?
Rainbow Six
Rainbow
Siege?
Six.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Like a game that both me and Ko were playing 2 hours almost every single day. Like I went in yesterday, I was playing Glaz, who's a sniper, and I had the cursor on the person's head. First shot misses, second shot misses. He turns to me. Third shot finally connects with the fucking internet and it kills him. But I'm just like, it shouldn't take 3 shots. Like my cursor's on his fucking head. I have a 30 ping. There's no reason for the netcode to be this fucking bad. But it was.
I feel that the netcode and shooters is what actually turned me off from them, is because it just progressively went to hell over the past 5 years. And it blows my mind how something that was completely functional and working 15 years ago in like Counter-Strike has gotten to where it is now.
Right.
Where it's become like convoluted and kind of a mess.
The thing was, it actually was great before this newest patch they just put out, like the beginning of February, maybe it was the late January, and it actually fucked it all up. So they've actually like regressed in terms of how that game operates. In terms of like netcode and Overwatch, well, it's not traditionally, I guess, a shooter, but that's a whole nother topic for another day.
Well, Overwatch
it's still pretty good.
Netcode stuff too. I've noticed, especially playing Genji, you'll do your dash a lot of the times.
Genji and Hanzo especially, 100%.
Yeah. You'll see it occasionally, especially when you're dashing. Like you'll have a play where you'll dash out of the way and then you'll die.
Yeah.
And then when you watch the replay, it's like you're just standing there. And I guess it doesn't calculate the jump until after you've completed it.
What it is that, and this has never been said by Blizzard, this is only on the forums, what people have deduced is that the tick on the servers is like 28 or some shit. It's very, very, very low. And so like in Counter-Strike, I think default is 60, and pro level play, like pro matches, are 128 or something. I'm kind of making up numbers now, but it basically, the lower the tick, the worse it is. And apparently Overwatch has really, really low tick servers, and higher tick servers are just more expensive, from my understanding of it. So that's kind of where that's coming from. But yeah, it's fucking bullshit when you die to a Hanzo and you watch the replay and you're basically behind like a wall and somehow this fucking arrow hits you. Yeah. 100%.
You'll see it. You'll see it in Overwatch.
64 tick. There you go.
I agree with you, Max, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah.
But yeah, those are, It sucks that Siege is kind of where it's at, because I think Siege is a more enjoyable solo experience compared to Overwatch.
It's kind of wild. After playing Overwatch so much lately, I get, and this is probably a direct correlation to my ability in Rainbow Six, since I die within the first 10 seconds on average. But the wait time has now gotten to me. Like
I saw you saying that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so used with Overwatch where it's just like just going right back into the fight after you screw up or after you read chat and get your head shot off or something. Like,
dude, I've been saying that for years. Like, one of the most important things of online matchmaking of any kind is the time in between matches. Like, don't bullshit me with loading times and all this stuff and in between rounds. Just get me into the next game as soon as possible.
You know what, Max? It's really funny you say that, man, because there's a game I just recently picked up that I wanted to try, and it's not a lot of people stream it, not a lot of people play it. It's called Mech Warrior Online. And it's really funny because I love the gameplay. It's really cool. It's like a tactical shooter in these giant mechs, right? What's not to love? It's fantastic. But the first thing I noticed after playing it for a couple hours is there's a wait screen to get into rounds. Then you have every player. There's a wait screen for everyone to hit ready. Then after that, there's a wait screen to load in, and then there's a wait period before the round starts.
Done. Yeah. You can love the game, but you're not going to play it.
It killed me. I mean, I went to my buddy Bike Man, who's the guy, he still plays it, and he's streaming it if anyone wants to watch it every so often. And I was like, dude, I love this game. It's fun, but man, it's like, I was literally waiting as much as I was playing a lot of times, and you can't do that. It's like, you got to click, I want to play, match. If you hit play, it assumes you're ready, drop you in 15 seconds, and you're playing.
It's a different mentality for like an offline game, but when it comes to like, I'm online specifically for the reason of fighting people or shooting people or doing something tactically against another person, and the amount of time that you spend in a screen is the worst, like literally the worst. So I mean, the funny thing is, like, even games like Street Fighter 5, I have a really big issue with this right now, where you spend like minutes in between matches, and you should be immediately thrown into the next match. Like, you should be able to do 3 games in 5 minutes if they went fast, and it's rough, man.
I'll also
the next
say
big game is going to come out with some kind of queuing system where there's 30 seconds left in the current game you're playing. It back end queues you to your next game, and then a thing pops up, and it's like, do you want to continue playing? Yes. Okay. Well, we already matched you. We're already good to go. That guy accepted. Boom, and we're playing again.
That'd be awesome.
I think that's almost more important than a lot of times like little tiny parts of the game. Like having that system nailed down would sell me more on a game than just amazing mechanics and amazing stuff like that, especially in a multiplayer game that you're playing a lot of.
If it's specifically for multiplayer, then yes, it should be the #1 focus of you not having to look at loading or anything.
I bet you maybe wouldn't, I don't know. You maybe wouldn't feel that way, Ko, if you were streaming it. I like those lulls in between matches. I like having a couple minutes to review what happened, talk to the stream, kind of whatever while we're waiting for people to queue up. Like I played H1Z1 this morning, like we jumped into one match. I'll sit on the main screen and kind of talk about it for a little bit at my own volition, and then I'll go ahead and jump into the next match. So sometimes those lulls I appreciate.
Ella, you ever play any game with Gassy Mexican?
No.
Think about that experience where you take this long.
Oh, actually, yes, I have. I'm sorry.
After every game, you take a 5-minute break because that's what Max does. He takes a 5-minute break after every round.
I'm not saying
and
that.
I'm fucking just like, come on, what are you doing? Like, I'm getting so upset every fucking time. Like, I'm right there with you. I want to try to be in the game as much as possible. I do not want breaks.
Elo, I totally see where you're coming from. And in fact, that's one of the reasons I love games like Darkest Dungeon, where every part of the game is prompted by you. I think specifically what I'm talking about right now is multiplayer games, like Max was saying. There's definitely a time for waiting, and there's some games that make great chat interaction streaming games because you have those pauses. But in general, if I want to play a game, I want to play the game. I don't want to have a double-digit percentage of my time in the game waiting to play the game.
I think it's totally fair. I think it's valid. I was thinking like Overwatch, where things move so quick, and sometimes we just want a chance to open up our loot crates. Like
well, they got to make those open.
A moment to like, hey, we want to breathe.
They have to make those openable in game.
Open loot crates in skirmish.
It's fucking
when
ridiculous.
You're waiting for rounds, just right there in game. They need an in-game crates with. I can't believe they have to make you leave. Like, it drives me nuts.
That also just occurred to me, Max. You mentioned you're excited to play it on console. That's going to be weird that Overwatch is going to be on consoles and you'll be able to buy cases or Blizzard monies on a like. Does that exist in any other online shooter for a console?
I have no idea how like the actual console marketing or actual release plan is going to be for the game. I
think it launches the same day as everything else.
Outside of like. Man, I already forgot the name of it. What was that one that came out? Evolve.
Yeah.
Or like Evolve.
I'm sorry, what game?
Yeah, that game. The one that everyone played once. I'm not too sure. The only reason I'm specifically looking forward to Overwatch on consoles is just for the fact that it is a controller, and I've never WSAD'd mouse been good at shooters at all. Literally, like
I will say,
console fanboy my whole life.
To that point, Zeke, the person that Elohim is replacing, he can't aim for his fucking he just can't aim. He's terrible at aiming. But Overwatch offers enough variety in the heroes that you don't need to aim. Like, there are heroes that you just hold down left click and it auto aims. It automatically does damage on someone.
Yeah.
Or where it will swing a giant fucking hammer and just hit everything in like your arc in front of you. So
but at the same time, it's like it's that typical Blizzard trademark, right? Where it's easy to learn, hard to master kind of thing.
Right,
so
but
your initial reaction might be, I don't like that, or that seems wrong.
You're speaking of that.
Yeah, in an FPS game. But I'm telling you right now, like, it's fine. Those characters are useful and they're good, and they don't have to have. They have your Twitch aiming kind of characters like Soldier 76, right? Yeah. But your girlfriend could jump on probably and play Mercy and have a good time and be very effective on a team.
Isn't that funny how it's coming more down to the mind games and less about the execution?
100% Overwatch too.
It's a parallel. No, it's really funny that you say that, Elo, because like what's crazy with Zeke is Zeke, for the aiming and all that stuff on this show, said how he was never going to play it. Yeah. He didn't want to do it. And then I think JP convinced him about the heroes and he should give it a try. Not 4 days ago, I log into Overwatch to play it at the second half of my stream because I finished Dark Souls 1 that morning and I just needed something to finish out the stream with. Zeke was sitting there playing the game off stream.
Same
and
here.
I was like, hey, dude, let's group up. And me and him started synergizing, and he started using like the big tank guys. He used Reinhardt. He used the monkey bro. Can't remember his name.
Winston, yeah.
Winston, used Winston. And he is getting damn good with those characters. All of a sudden, he's doing stuff that like he's getting really good with the shield. I mean, like it's kind of funny because he's not good at the shooting and stuff, he's now focusing on getting better at the other stuff. Yeah. And he is now getting damn decent with those guys. Like I was doing Mercy and he was doing Reinhardt, and he was playing damn well. A lot better than a lot of other people.
He plays that game a lot. I don't think he wants people to know he plays that game. I've seen him on at like 10 a.m. in the morning. Anyone. Yeah, I've seen him on at like 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, Zeke, is this? It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm playing Winston. Can jump in this game with me? I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
On stream, I didn't even know he was playing, and I got queued against him one round.
Yep.
And I was like in chat, I was like, is that you, Zeke? And he's like, hell yeah, brother. He was like running around as the ape, jumping on shit. And oh man,
yeah,
it's great.
This stream brought to you by Overwatch.
Well, it For whatever reason, Overwatch and Dark Souls have been in the topic of, and we're going to talk about Dark Souls again because I think Max, you've been playing it a lot recently. Co's been jumping through Dark Souls 2.
I've been living in that world for like 3 weeks.
I just got out of that world after a month. Yeah.
There's something about the adventure aspect in those games that is incredible. Of just not knowing what's around the next corner and something jumps out at you. It is. I love to play those games in the dark at night, and I specifically will turn off like everything around me and just be totally zoned in. And all of a sudden, you fall down here and like, wow.
Oh, you're in the DLC. This fucking area sucks, man.
It really did, man. It wasn't like Dark Souls 2, I feel like is a solid like 9 out of 10. While Dark Souls 1, like 10 out of 10.
This is DLC, yeah. Have you never seen the DLC, Co?
I've never played the DLC either.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Well,
I just got all 3 DLC keys today. Like I went around on this little journey, this little mini quest to get them all, and like I'm basically starting the stream. I'm in Castle Drangelic right now, and
yeah.
I'm like doing that for a little bit, and then I'm going right into the DLCs.
Yeah,
basically. How long did it take you to complete? Sorry, JP, real quick.
No,
How
go
long
ahead.
did it take you to complete Dark Souls 2 base game?
You talking to me?
Yes.
JP. It's been actually. You know what? I can tell you.
We can just open up Twins real quick, or I can open up Twins and just tell you.
No, I've been in it about 22 hours. And I'm not done with it. I'm at I have like a boss command. Hold on. I can tell you the exact DS2 boss. So I'm 56% through the game with 23 out of 41 bosses down, and I've been in it 22 hours.
And that's including DLC?
No, I haven't touched the DLC. And I've beaten the game twice before. So I sort of knew where to go. I didn't remember most of it, but I had like an idea, So
yeah, for me, Dark Souls.
I was doing the same thing, which is I was going to let you probably finish up, and then I might do a run through. And I was trying to see what kind of timing.
For me, Dark Souls 2, everything took 44 hours.
I cannot recommend
40-hour games
with DS Fix.
Oh yeah,
DS Fix makes one like it could have been released today. Like the graphics are amazing.
Yeah,
really.
I played it with DS Fix as well. It's incredible.
Oh man,
yep.
Very cool. Maybe I'll go through one.
Hell, and you can even
I never
do 1 and 2 in Bloodborne. Do all 3 of them, man. It's a perfect time.
I'm not really into the Bloodborne thing, but yeah, it's fine.
Ella, also for Dark Souls 1, there's I don't know if Co used them, but there's HD graphic textures that I used, and it made it
I use those as well.
Yeah,
they're like super over 10, like 4K textures.
Yeah, it makes all the armor and all the weapons look amazing. But yeah, fuck this place. This is from the first DLC, and the first time through here, nothing's really explained as per usual. But there's like certain enemy types that you have to actually do other things to deal with them.
I actually really like this DLC area. This is I'm trying to think back. This is the one with like the big temples, right?
Yes, this is the first one.
Yeah. Great. Like just the introduction of it from what happens at the very start when you walk in, and it's like this progressive. I'm not spoiling anything, Co. Don't worry. But it's just the usual like kind of like Dark Souls Miyazaki-ness of it. Even though it wasn't Miyazaki, it's really just good. It's really good creative gameplay and design because it's an adventure. You have no idea what the hell's going to happen.
100%. And this area specifically, where it's just the long hallways with like the random little things off to the side, and how you manipulate. I'm actually not going to show this. How you manipulate this area and getting through it is fucking awesome. Like I love going through that. Both times I've done it. So if you've never, Co, I've been watching you play a little bit because you've been playing a Dex build. I've never played that way before. You do a lot of damage though. Like a lot of people are saying you're over leveled.
You're doing a Dex build finally?
It's my very first Dex build. Basically, what I did is I let my viewers vote on it, and Red Eyed Monster, my YouTube guy, and now known as Shogun Red, came up with a bunch of builds, and Dex Samurai won. So I'm role playing a samurai. I have an honor code that I always have to be human. I can't use shields in any way. I have to do everything honorably, and if I don't, I have to commit seppuku at Maj'Eyal by throwing myself off and losing all my souls. Red has given me challenges where I have to purposefully lose all my souls to restore my honor.
Nice.
I can only use katanas. That's it. No other weapons. And I can only use specific armor sets that look samurai-ish.
Nice. Man, I hope elements that you are just describing is going to be stuff that's going to be in Nioh, which is that literal like samurai looking Souls game that's coming out on PlayStation pretty soon.
Who's making that? What? There's it's a weird developer or like a developer that's never made it.
Tecmo. It's like I can't remember exactly.
Koei Tecmo.
It's Team Ninja that's making it. I'm pretty sure, and it looks like It looks Dark Souls, Nioh, N-I, and -OH.
Yeah, it was at
Dark Souls
PlayStation
mixed with
Experience.
Onimusha.
Here, I'll show you
And
right now, Ko.
They specifically say it. It looks.
Yeah, it's
dude.
Koei
I'm
Tecmo.
excited. I'm excited to see because I used to love Onimusha Warlords.
Oh, dude,
This is it right here.
Oh yeah, man. That was.
I hope.
Look at this
I
shit.
really
This
hope
looks
game
awesome.
is good, man. But yeah, they haven't shown very much of it. There's like one trailer, which is a gameplay trailer, and then there's this one, but it immediately starts screaming Souls the way like everything actually acts and it is, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me
Oh, it's like a faster Souls.
You want
Yeah.
It might be. Well, it's a faster, really Japanese mythology instead of like Western mythology, which is what this
Sign
like
me
dark
up,
side.
man. That looks
like
awesome.
Tenchu.
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
Tenchu,
Yeah,
Onimusha.
But it doesn't look like you're gonna hate yourself for playing it.
Yeah.
Poison Rice.
I hope
But there was
I
some,
do.
oh god.
I hope it's difficult as shit because, in all honesty, other games that are kind of like this, like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that, are hard as balls. Like those games
Yeah.
are tough.
I just
Dude,
hope
I
it.
had to do Ninja Gaiden on the 360. Went back when I was doing achievements and shit with my buddies at work, and
Oh,
oh, my god.
Oh, I thought you were saying you streamed that.
No. This was way back.
Was
when
it
I
Ninja
worked there.
Gaiden Black, the one that was just like fucking stupid,
Yeah,
ludicrous
Ninja
hard?
Gaiden Black on the Xbox was pretty.
God,
I
that was
love
brutal.
action games. I really can't stand the Ninja Gaiden games, man. It's like not even due to the difficulty. It's like those games just feel like slippery. Something
Yeah.
about the way you
Yep.
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely agree.
Ko, what
Let me-
armor is this,
Let
by
me
the
ask
way?
you a question. Oh, Jose, go ahead. Sorry.
That is the Aloni armor.
Oh, okay. The
chest-
start. Oh, yeah.
chest, helm, and legs, and then the helm, gloves, and legs are Aloni armor, and then the ridiculous shoulder pads that I'm wearing right now is the Aloni captain set.
Gotcha. Okay.
How much debating did you have to do with your stream to allow you those shoulder pads for like a samurai?
Oh no, dude, I
ever do
defer
that?
everything to Shogun Red Eye. He
Yeah.
makes the calls. Like, it's been
They're from.
like, for anything in the game. I'm like, Shogun Red Eye, my Shogun. Where do I go next? Like, can I wear the Shogun Red Eye? Do we approve? And he either goes honorable or dishonorable, and then that decides if I get.
Very disrespectful to do.
Dude, it's been the most fun playthrough I've done in a
I was
long
just thinking
time.
about this. Why don't we make a little wager? Why don't we make Dark Souls 3 a little more fun between the four of it? You're gonna play it, Max? Max,
Oh God, yes, it's my number one game.
I
New
This
think
year.
trailer came out
everyone
for it
is
today,
gonna
by the
What
way.
if we, and we don't have to, I'm just throwing this out there. I was just thinking about it. What if we're all going to do a playthrough of it? We record our deaths, see who has the least amount of deaths, or the most amount of deaths, I should say. And the person with the most amount of deaths picks up dinner at like PAX East or something at some point.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm done.
I
I'm done.
like that idea, but the only thing that
Don't watch co-stream. Or don't watch the stream, Ko.
oh, yeah. the only thing that would send me a little bit against that is I know, like, for instance, for my Dark Souls 3, I plan on doing every single boss,
Same here.
going to every single.
Why don't we agree that we have to kill every boss and we put ourselves all on the same playing field?
I am totally down.
I'm
But
totally
then
down
we're all
for
going
that.
to do different builds, right? Or are we going to do the same build?
No, we can do whatever you want.
Bill, do whatever you want.
I like the idea. I'm down for that. I think that would be more fun though if we all had our playthroughs of Dark Souls and then did a second one all with the exact same build.
I could do either. I'm
'Cause I
really.
kind of want to take my time with the first one and mess around and throw myself off cliffs and it'd be a little weird if it was like competitive that first.
I get what you're saying.
But but here's the deal. I love the idea.
Yeah.
I'm totally on board. We'll figure it out for sure.
I mean, you cool. We can like throw up each other's death counts on our stream in a little small corner or something. You know,
Sure.
make a little race out of it. Or something. We could do some cool.
I mean,
stuff.
to be honest, the viewers will automatically be like, well, Ko took 7 tries on this, and you're at 6 deaths, JP. So if you
Dude,
die
it's
one more
gonna-
time,
That always feels great, right?
Listen, Twitch chat, you bunch of nerds, you love that shit. You love
they
doing.
do love that shit.
You love fixing your glasses and being like, yeah.
It happens with anytime
Here,
someone
Twitch chat
opens.
for my Dark Souls 2 runs. I've one shot almost 17 bosses now.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I have this massive 2-hand sword that's plus 10. I only can use katanas, so I've been using every boss sword or every boss soul that I get. I've only died like 50 times, which is like a record for me for being halfway through a Souls game.
That's great.
And I'm super over leveled, but
Yeah.
I act like I'm not and that I'm good. And it drives the Souls gurus crazy because they're like, what is this bullshit? Is this guy for real?
Yeah.
Like, does he understand that he's not playing the game correctly? Like, is King Kong's dick not in his ear?
Yeah.
Like, what's up here?
I got that
Dude,
same
it's
shit because I
bullshit.
played a mage, and people were so
I
upset.
think-
Can I,
think that
report a stream for this?
You
That's like
bunch of
natural with some
in the
things, man.
chat. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just
No, like when you stream a Souls game, like, and I do the exact same thing. You get so many guys that come in and want you to play the game they do, and with blind playthroughs of a Souls game, and if it's like been a years after the game has been out, that's a rough experience, man. Like it's like sub mode required in some situations, and even that, it's still a little rough. Anytime somebody comes in and he's like, "You idiot! You pulled the lever. You unleashed Captain Dickface. He's going to be there the whole game now." Lord Miyazaki is my friend. He told me at E3, if you don't puru de leveru, he will not get a special ending. And I'm like, why would I? He's my friend, you idiot. Like, of course I'm going to do it. So I always play it up like that every single time that I'm like in this close, deep personal relationship with Miyazaki.
That's like, why I will say, if
I know John Twitch.
Exactly.
CEO and proprietor of Twitch.
If you've never experienced a Dark Souls game right at launch, it's actually one of the most amazing experiences on Twitch because everyone's watching everyone else's stream, right? And so the first person to find something out of the ordinary or out of place or a secret or blah, 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 it spreads like wildfire across Twitch in like an hour. And then every streamer knows about that thing. And everyone knows who found it first. It's awesome.
I'm just so pissed off that like a large portion of Twitch is going to be playing it a week early. And then the rest of us
it's more than a week, man. It's March.
It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, Japanese
Are you going to play the Japanese version, Max?
Too, man.
How long does it take to learn Japanese?
Dude, no. How often do you actually like?
That's
when
what
you
I'm
just
saying,
play
man.
through a Souls game. How often do you actually read everything?
Well,
like,
you know what's funny? I heard the Japanese version has an English subtitle option.
Oh, well, what the hell?
Really?
But apparently we have to like get region unlocked consoles and like.
No. You just make a Hong Kong account or something on PlayStation. It's pretty damn easy.
There's the PlayStation itself's not region locked, but you have to make an account in that region.
Yeah, if you look up, I had to do the same thing for Guilty Gear Xrd when it came out because it came out early in Asia. It's really not that bad.
So no more old PlayStation where you're leaving the top open and you're waiting for a certain amount of spin.
No.
And you're trying to get it to read the barcode. I used to do that for D&D Legends. I wanted to play it so bad. I bought it off eBay, had them ship it from Japan, and then I learned the PlayStation 1.
Jeez.
Dude, you want crazy old stories. Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Dreamcast.
Actually an import store in Santa Monica. This existed at one point. There was an import video game store in Santa Monica. Impossible nowadays. I bought a copy of Dance Dance Revolution and had to go to some IRC crazy thing in like the year 2000 to learn how to do the swap trick on the Dreamcast to actually play the disc.
Dude.
Bought a dance pad. I duct taped that mother fifer to like a big cork board so it would actually stick to the ground. This is back when DDR was cool. All right, I see all you judgmental eyes.
No, man. Look, I'm right there. I love it. I mean, if DDR is awesome.
Guy, I'd probably play more of it. But
I fucking love DDR.
I swear, dude, it was fun as hell. Like that was back when the game was super young. Nobody knew what the hell it was, and I played it at the Santa Monica Pier. And oh my god, man, I loved that experience.
In middle school, Max, I sold those swap discs.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You sold the Utopia swap discs?
Yep.
Those things are so free.
Because everyone had the fucking Dreamcast, right? And all you had to do was get the fucking swap disc. You put it in there, you boot up the fucking Dreamcast, and then you open up the tray, you put your whatever game that you just burnt into there.
Yeah.
And everyone had CD rewritable discs because that was like the big thing because that was all.
The Dreamcast was wrecked in the first 2 years.
It was fucking ridiculous.
I'll counter with that. To save up for the Dreamcast in 1999, I was like, let's say, I don't want to give this away because it's too convincing of the age, but I was in high school and I would sell my friend the sandwiches my mom gave me 50 cents a day to save up for the Dreamcast.
Oh, you were a sandwich pusher.
I was a sandwich pusher. And that shit was good. Like I would go hungry so that I would get enough money to actually save up for the Dreamcast. And it was counting pennies at that point.
There you go.
Up until $9.99.
Max, do you realize
the greatest system of all time?
You might be the only person. You might be the only person. Maybe there's got to be more, right? You might be the only person that went to public schooling. I assume you went to a public school.
Yeah.
And you didn't have your lunch money taken away. You actually sold your lunch and made a.
Dude, no, I was like 6'9".
Yeah, Max is a pretty tall guy. He's a pretty tall guy. So
that didn't happen. That did not happen.
Yeah. But they're like, don't mess with him because he's really tall and he sells his sandwiches. His mom's sandwiches are delicious. Don't mess with that man.
With that guy.
Fuck with him. Max
turkey and cheese is no joke.
His mom sells fucking peanut butter and jelly. You wouldn't believe they're not soggy when they get here.
Yo, that's Max.
The sandwich salesman.
There you go.
Jesus, that got real fast.
Yeah, the sandwich salesmen who say me. I can just see you in that whole garb if you're really that tall. Like sitting there with the skull, you know, like, oh man.
On that same level, I got a question for you guys, because we're all like right around the same age, grew up with the similar stuff. Greatest console of all time.
Are you asking?
Greatest console of all time?
Greatest console of all time, JP.
I have a very special place in my heart for N64.
Yeah, that's a good one.
64 was pretty good. If we can't answer PC, then it's probably the SNES for me.
Yeah, I think popular wise, SNES, PlayStation 1, and PS2 are like up there.
PS2 is like a pretty fucking good system. Like,
That's the most successful console of all time.
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
PS2.
Even though I'm not even like a Nintendo junkie. It was just like because Christmas, I wasn't allowed to have a console growing up. My parents thought I would be way too addicted to video games. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first Christmas I got a console was an N64, and it was the best Christmas of my life. I remember playing WCW World Tour.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Stereo and just fucking loving every second of it.
Yeah.
All these
Chuko.
We can't pick PC, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not a console.
Did you grow up with PC? PC gaming?
Funny enough, I grew up on a Mac of all things.
I did too.
Mac had some really good games.
I grew up
bro.
on like Pathways into Darkness, Marathon, Myth, Myst, Riven,
Wow.
the LucasArts series. But in
Yeah.
terms of console, for me, it would have to be PS1. That was the PS1 was the first console that showed me a game could be more than 20 hours and could be something that is like damn near life changing. Like from the first time I played the Final Fantasies, for like my first jaunt into Star Ocean.
Yeah.
Like the metal, I remember like me and my buddy was he played Metal Gear Solid 1, and I just sat
Oh
there
man,
watching,
that game's life changing. Yeah.
I didn't even play it, and
Yeah.
I just sat there just watching the whole time, and it was that it was probably PS1. That was
I would PlayStation's probably really close for me too. Like, because FF7's my favorite game ever for the exact same reason you said, where it's one of those games where they show you something you didn't realize existed in games, which is this like story to make you give a shit.
Right.
Like I actually cared about a game. Like for the
See,
first time.
I had that experience with Chrono
that.
Trigger on SNES. So like,
Yeah, it's usually if it's like greatest RPG all time for like many people, it's either Chrono Trigger because that was like their first one and they got attached to
Yeah.
characters, or FF7. And for me, SNES was the era where I was still playing fighting games as a youngin'. I thought like RPGs, that's that D&D nerd shit. And I played FF7 and I was like, I was so wrong my whole life.
yeah,
So
they made
I
it
get
cool, man. Sephiroth is a pretty cool guy. It turns out.
I was more of an 8
So
guy.
is Cloud.
I picked up 8 out of
I remember in my
Wow.
frame, like I hit hour 50 in Final Fantasy 7, and I remember thinking like as a kid, I was like, I'm only ever gonna buy games that have this much play in them. Like
Yeah.
I'm never buying another kind of game. And then it was like,
the PlayStation was like the greatest RPG system ever.
It was, man. You remember like Legend of the Dragoon or fuck,
wait, not Bouncer.
Legaia or Legend of Legaia or whatever.
Legend
the
of
fuck.
Legaia, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, was that with the Cerus? The little
Yeah, where it had the
think
arm
so.
gauntlets and it changed the armor and like at the fucking end they
Yes!
looked fucking. Yeah, dude, that game was. Sick.
I don't think those neurons have been hitting my brain for
And it
like
had that fucking stupid
1,000
purple
arms,
gas that you
Wild
couldn't walk
Arms.
through. Yeah, Wild Arms is so good. Yeah.
Xenogears. There's so many, dude. Final Fantasy Tactics is incredible.
Xenogears?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the original
That was
Xenogears.
man.
Like that's what I love
pretty
about the
good.
PlayStation. I feel that there's more stories to tell on the PlayStation console than like almost anything outside of PC. Like there's some really good games. Shukiden, like 1 and 2.
Oh my god.
What about
There's-
Siphon Filter? Anyone play Siphon?
Oh,
I played Siphon
fuck
Filter,
yes.
yeah.
Oh man, lots of Siphon
That
Filter.
guy has
Siphon
weird ass
Filter's
hip run. I'll never forget the way that man sways his hips when he runs.
And
Weird,
then-
like
yeah.
Yeah.
And he had the taser. I love the taser. That was like the first time I saw a taser in a video game was inside.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's crazy.
I
Do you
love
guys-
the PlayStation, but
You
the
guys, you guys
Go
remember
ahead.
Jackrabbit or Jumping Jack Flash, or was that the name of it?
Talking about-
I know exactly.
The launch game with the PSX, that and Ballerina Toshiden were the two games I played at launch.
I think it's called Jumping Flash. Or
Jumping
something
Flash,
Yes.
that's what it was. Yeah. What
a little
fucking-
Robo Rabbit, right?
Yeah, what a
Yes.
fucking weird game that was, but it was great.
Rabbit.
I love the PlayStation. It's got like some of my favorite games, but the Dreamcast is still like the number one system like of all time for me because on a very personal level, and as a kid that frequented arcades, and any chance I got, I was collecting quarters to go to arcades and play shooting games like light gun games, like Sega games and Sega Racers and
Time
fighting
Crisis
games.
and those.
Dude,
Yeah.
like those are some of my favorite games ever. And the Dreamcast hits home because the Dreamcast brought arcade games home. And for the first time ever, arcade games were just as good, if not better, on the Dreamcast. And every time before that, they were this nerfed, gimped ass version on the PlayStation or the N64 or the Saturn. And it was the moment where it was like, and that's what it literally was. Like the Dreamcast was just like Sega arcade board hardware for home. And there's too many games, man. There's too many games that are just like greatest of all time, like in my opinion, that are very simple games like Crazy Taxi.
Fucking Crazy Taxi.
Why have they not remade and continued on with the Metal Gear, or not Metal Gear? I'm sorry, not Metal Gear. Twisted Metal series. That
It died out. They made too many of them. They made too many of them.
No, but like I mean, like why isn't there like been one?
There was a new one for PlayStation 3.
Yeah, just a couple years ago.
It was fucking terrible.
That franchise is for old people like us that still remember them. Like the kids just ain't buying it, LO.
Oh man. No, guys, why are we showing no love to Mavis Beacon, man? Mavis Beacon teaches typing.
Mavis Bacon's Typing of the Dead.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Dude, I still have the
Mavis Beacon
right over there. I still have
Typing of the Dead is brutal. I don't know if you played that game.
The game's hard as fuck, yeah.
Game's good. Yeah, it's hard as fuck.
What game?
Typing of the Dead.
Typing of the Dead? No.
It's literally House of the Dead 2, but instead of a light gun, it's Mavis Bacon. So it puts up words, and you have to like enter the words with the keyboard to shoot the zombies, and each keystroke is a shot to the zombie.
Yeah.
You play it on hard mode, and it's like one zombie, and it's like anti-disestablishmentarianism, and you're like,
Wah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pseudo-scientifical. What?
Yeah.
There's like 6 zombies walking towards you. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
This game makes no logical sense.
Right?
I don't need to know these words to kill zombies.
Exactly.
That's gonna type real good at the end though.
I'm a like
hot tangent we're on. Yeah. It's palpable.
Max, what else you been playing on stream besides the Street Fighter 5s? Anything in particular?
Trying to think lately. Every time I get a chance, I try to go back to Dark Souls 2 because it is my first playthrough, and I want to get through all the Souls games. And after Dark Souls 2, I want to play Demon Souls really bad because I never.
That's a very quick playthrough as well. 15, 16 hour playthrough.
That's good. I'll actually be able to get through it. And I do want to hit up like all the bosses. Like that is an important thing. Is that I want to.
You actually.
See every boss.
You have to kill every boss in Demon Souls.
You have to kill every boss. Like that's kind of like the number one thing in my first in Dark Souls 1. That was a big part of the Bloodborne when I first played Bloodborne. And as soon as like. Bloodborne's up there, man. Like it's up there, like in maybe top 5 games of all time for me. Like there's something about everything. It's atmosphere, it's aesthetic, it's the way it feels, the way it looks.
I'm right there with you, man.
Corner. It's just so much fun. And even though it's missing some things on like a design level that the Souls games have in terms of like replayability, there's just something about the world of Bloodborne that is just like, and I can't look at the game for more than 3 hours without feeling like kind of sick because of how dark and grotesque it is.
Yeah.
Like there's something about its color
Gothic,
like sits on you and like it sits heavily on you if you look at it for too long.
Totally a question for me and no one else. What boss did you have the hardest time with, including the DLC of Bloodborne? I just wrapped up.
The last guy of the DLC, immediately
Orphan of Cause?
The fire dude.
Oh, the fire dude.
Oh, you're talking about the sword, the sword guy?
I hate it that I can't remember his name. It really bugs me. But
something Helm?
Why can't I?
I think it's a guy, JP, that you were working on.
He's the guy that, like the head of the healing church or something like that. Yeah. Not Orphan of Cause. Orphan of Cause I didn't think was
something. Oh God,
Lawrence. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, Lawrence. Okay.
It's like my favorite game ever, and I'm so terrible with names. Lawrence was super tough.
Everyone told me I was gonna have a hard time. I spent like 4 or 5 hours on Cause, but then I 3-shot Lawrence. So
really, that's crazy. Yeah. I was on New Game Plus for mine, and
I've been told that makes all of the bosses like stupid, crazy, fucking ridiculous hard, and then Lawrence actually gets like the biggest bump up.
Yeah, Lawrence one touches you once and you die.
Yeah.
Then it became a little nuts, man. It was that, and then there was something about the satisfaction at the end of that fight where it's just you just become so frustrated, and then you just have to execute, and then identify. And then what's funny is that my overall strategy for a lot of the bosses was to blitzkrieg them, was to not give them space, was to go in with the fucking pizza cutter and just pop the thing that boosts your damage and pretty much berserks you, and just go ham and take down their life as much as possible, get a couple of good dodges, and just pretty much bulldog them to death.
Yeah.
A lot more fun.
Yeah, that's how I always play like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I always do the Dex playthrough with the I get a weapon, two-handed sword with the stamina shield on my back, and I don't block a damn thing. I just evade everything.
Yeah.
So I just evade everything and try to do as much damage as I can, just like you said. And it always is. I haven't felt the need to explore many other builds because I've enjoyed that one so much. But I didn't. And I think we had this conversation a couple weeks ago too, and everybody kind of got onto me. I want to make sure I'm clear. I don't dislike Bloodborne. I like Bloodborne.
Hello.
I know. I fucking hate Bloodborne. I'm sorry. No, I like Bloodborne, but I didn't like it nearly as much as Dark Souls. In fact, everything that you said about Bloodborne, I liked about Dark Souls.
Yeah, and that's like it's like a super personal aesthetic thing because it's mostly because it's like the mythos and the setting you probably like a lot more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It's a difference in taste, really. But like you could have thrown in Dark Souls with everything you said, and that's exactly Dark Souls. It's freaking great.
I think Bloodborne, everything looks so fucking cool in that game. Like everyone's weapon is so cool. Everyone's got masks on and shit. It's so cool. Like
it's true.
There's something about that world.
What's funny is I think like the Bloodborne world is very much kind of romanticized, and I know it's kind of a weird word to use for it.
No, it's true.
It's 100% true.
It's kind of an extreme. Everything has its. I mean, to put it bluntly, it's very Japanese. Like it's very much like a Japanese RPG where every character has their flair or their little outfit or their hair designed in a special way or their weapons, and everything. There's not a lot of normal. Where Dark Souls is almost, and of course this is the weirdest word to use with Dark Souls, but it's almost more realistic. It's more like, you have big suits of different types of armor and everything looks a little bit more functional, and the undead are, and the crazy monsters all kind of have purpose wherever they are. But I don't know. I'm the kind of person that I just love all of them. Like people have been asking me nonstop.
That's the number one question that
what's your favorite?
Ask, yeah.
Dark Souls 1, Bloodborne, or Dark Souls 2? What is your favorite? Which one's the hardest for you? Which one and why? And I'm just sitting here going, dude, they're all freaking incredible.
The thing is,
they're all incredible.
It's like different flavors of ice cream, and I love all of them. Like seeing the different takes is just makes them all even better.
That's become like the what's your favorite Final Fantasy question now on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's the same question.
I think the Souls games right now are like the greatest thing in this industry. Like they're games that don't sell like a ridiculous amount, but they have like an insane amount of passion put into them when they do come out. And there's some stuff that is like cut corners wise, like Dark Souls 2 has some very obvious issues, but at its core, it's still like a super good and fun game outside of some very bad texture work in some places and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's doing things that other games are kind of afraid to do. And it's also influencing other games in a way that's really good now, where it's like games want to be like that. People want to actually get into that market, which is amazing because these feel like early era PlayStation 2 games, but they look amazing, Yeah. So I think it's a really good state that we're in right now, especially when you get Sony that is like, please make us Bloodborne. We'll give you a whole bunch of money and make a console exclusive. I hate console exclusives, but I like games more than consoles. So if the game can exist, then I'm happy.
It's true.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that entirely.
It's true. Well, we got about 30 minutes left. Let's do a little bit of news. There was a Uncharted 4 trailer that came out today, which is a fucking amazing trailer. Like, I'm super hyped for that game to begin with. And that trailer, I feel like that game's already going to be my game of the year, which is a stretch, but man, it looks fucking good.
I'm going to be super honest. I thought Uncharted 2 was like one of the greatest games of all time, right?
Yeah.
The first playthrough of that game, you can't put down. It is back in like 2009, whenever it came out.
Yeah.
Incredible. 11 out of 10.
Get to the train sequence and you're done. That's the climax.
Dude, now I picked up the Uncharted collection and I was thinking about streaming it, and for some reason, like whenever I think of replaying those games, I lose so much interest. It's ridiculous. Like something about those games, and it's like a one playthrough kind of situation where I don't think the gameplay evolved enough in any of them, where I just care about the characters and the story, really.
I 100% agree with you.
Even in Uncharted 4 now, I'm kind of like super uninterested, where I like loved those games. I feel it's better than Indiana. It's like a modern day Indiana Jones, which is the whole point.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did not watch the new trailer though.
I feel like with this trailer, they learned so much of what worked for The Last of Us, and they're putting it into Uncharted. Like there is so much.
That's good.
In the sense of like the
Can
character.
you extrapolate on that a little bit? Yeah.
Well, yeah. The character interaction and the.
Hold on, real quick. I have not finished Last of Us.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Just like how the character relationships worked in The Last of Us was like the big draw to the game. They felt like it felt like you were watching a movie in that sense. Like they were so well developed characters and so likable or unlikable, et cetera, et cetera. Like you actually had emotional ties to them. I feel like they're putting that towards Uncharted 4 because the trailer just like reeks with that 100%.
I did not finish Last of Us.
Really?
But I know everybody likes it.
There
Yeah.
is Elo. Okay, as soon as we're done with this cast, you guys both need to fire up your stream. Like
No.
right now.
That's so interesting. to me.
Oh, I get it. You're supposed to feel bad, and then I throw things to ignore popcorn heads.
It's
so
one of those
interesting
things
to me.
where I'm saving it for a rainy day. Like I know I'm gonna end up liking it. Everybody's giving it great reviews. It's like I've tucked it away and I'm just like squirrel. It's like my own little. Oh god, it's my own little nut. Okay, and
Okay.
little nut's mine. And one day I'm gonna go dig it up and during a nice lull on Twitch where nobody's doing shit, and I'm gonna be like, all right, guys, it's time.
I saw someone was doing their first playthrough the other day, and I was like, I just want to sit down with that game and play it again, off stream, on stream, whatever, because I fucking love the shit out of that game.
It's such a good game, man. And the latest DLC difficulty, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, Survivor mode, is that?
Yeah, I think
it's that.
I don't remember if it's called Survivor or something, but man, that doing a full playthrough of that on the difficulty is it is an experience.
Yeah,
Especially some of the NDLC stuff, man. Holy
Sure.
shit.
There was some drama with the video that came out today. Apparently, it included some concept art from Assassin's Creed 4, and they've actually taken down that video and then re-uploaded it.
Wait, the Uncharted 4?
The Uncharted 4 trailer had this sequence right here, and that picture is concept art from Assassin's Creed 4.
That's hilarious.
And it's I don't know how that happens, but yeah, like Neil Druckmann's on Twitter and he says no two ways about it. We fucked up. Like they're totally owning up to what happened. Apparently they didn't vet where all of the art came from.
It was just a texture as like a painting on the wall, but the painting on the wall was concept art from Assassin's Creed. Okay.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Which is crazy. It's just like, yeah, okay. Of course that happens, but that was about 2 hours ago.
I love Reddit for that. I love Reddit for how like they latch on to everything.
Yeah, well, apparently it was
man, who would catch this shit?
It was someone from Ubisoft or someone who worked on Assassin's Creed. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name.
Maybe like, dude, I drew that.
But yeah, he was basically pointing it out on Twitter. His tweet saying, "Wow, Uncharted 4 using one of AC4 artwork on their trailer. I get the thief title now because the title of Uncharted is The Thief's End." So that's
they burn.
You know that there was just some dude in the editing room like, "Hey Frank, watch this shit." And he like goes and renames an Assassin's Creed 4 thing. He's like Uncharted 4.jpg.
So that
How
sucks.
often that happens? Because it's got to happen, right? Like these little things, these little mishaps, these little. How often is it just companies just fucking with themselves, like fucking with other employees or whatever? You know, like It's like then something like this happens is a big deal and somebody gets their hand slapped. But like, it's got to happen so much, right? Like just watch this. I'm gonna fuck with Jim over there. Watch, I'm gonna change this file. You know, like And then all of a sudden there's some release or some shit.
It happens probably more than we ever will know. But I gotta say the game looks fucking gorgeous.
I never played Uncharted. It was just one of those games I didn't really get into. It looked like a male when it first came out, and this is very ignorant of me. Okay, I'm not the video game connoisseur that I am today, but like when it came out, it looked like a male version of Tomb Raider to me. And I was
they call it Tomb Raider for a reason.
Yeah. And I didn't like Tomb Raider, so I was like, as a game. Now the new Tomb Raiders I like. The old school ones were just so blocky, and I just got like so frustrated with them that
the controls were terrible.
I was the exact same way, Elo. But the new Tomb Raiders.
But you like Uncharted?
Oh, I did an Uncharted franchise
about doing a playthrough of them.
End of last year. Yeah, I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back.
Yeah, I gotta play those soon.
Dude, not only is the Uncharted series amazing, but it's one of those series that you get so much more out of it. It's like Metal Gear. It's like the Metal Gear series, where if you play them back to back to back, there's all these little nuances, all these character interactions
that you don't forget about
over the series. And it gets to the point where like you get to the end of it, you get to like some of the big revelations and stuff, and you're just like, holy shit, the last time they talked about this was mid game of 1, you know, and all of a sudden you're seeing it again, and that kind of stuff, it's really well done in that respect.
And since that was like the day before yesterday, you don't forget about it.
Yeah, but I kind of agree with Max in a lot of ways. Like the gameplay itself and everything is
the gameplay is not why you play these, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you follow the story, the characters. It really is like playing through a universe. It's like playing through a good, well-written story. In some cases, some of it's a little generic and weird. But then you get to like the airplane scene, and it's just like, It's just
The
like,
airplane
what
scene
is
is
going on
all-
here?
there's
Like
so
they're
many
doing all
landmark
this
scenes.
crazy shit, and it's just
Like-
like this is awesome.
There's some moments that really stick out, like the airplane scene when you fly out the back of it, and then there's the falling building. I think it's in Uncharted 2, where you're
Yes.
in the
Yes.
building and falling is like, holy crap, this is incredible.
There's a lot of amazing things in that game.
Did
I-
did it
That
hold
piece
up,
is the
though?
game.
Did
What
it
was
hold up?
What, the game? Oh, they redid them. They HD.
Oh, they
them.
redid
They're all
them. There's a
60
whole
FPS.
remaster collection. Yeah. So you can get like
That's-
a whole.
I know that they just released them all together as a collection, not that they remastered them.
They remastered.
Only
Yeah.
60 FPS them.
Yeah.
They're that's the whole reason. Like if you remember on Twitch at the end of last year, all these
I
people.
thought it was just the collection, whatever.
No.
No,
wow.
they
I
made
gotta
them run
remember
at good frame
summer.
rates in 1080p.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's
Yep.
and again, it's because they've all been updated, and you can get like all of them on one or two discs now, and in one purchase. Totally worth it. It
Oh,
takes you
yeah.
a week to do the whole thing. You just let your community know, hey, next week I'm doing the Uncharted series, and boom, you'll have.
Yeah, I
people
gotta
that-
play those. April's gonna be such like a busy month for games with Dark Souls, and then
I am so
And then
glad.
Is
Uncharted.
I
Uncharted also in April?
yeah, Uncharted's at the end of
Oh,
April.
jeez, man.
That's why I gotta figure out when I want to decide to play through those.
People are picking their games already for April. Like, what am
Oh,
I?
yeah.
What am I going to stream? Where am I going to position? It's
One
kind
hundred
of crazy.
percent.
Yeah.
We should make like a streamers database, and everyone can go record what they're doing. And we can
Yeah,
all
I
have
wish
people in-
Twitch would just build that and we could input our own stuff. That would be much better.
We got rechat though, so that's good.
That's true. We did get reach.
Huge
We didn't even
step
talk
in the
about
right
that. Let's talk about that.
Amazing.
God, man. Dude, Twitch has officially done something with their VOD system
So-
that YouTube can't do.
I saw the retrat. I was in. It was actually when we were out there for drop frames, and you guys, Co and Zeke, weren't in the office yet. I stepped into an elevator, and I was with Weed, and he's like, "You use rechat?" It's like, "Yeah, I use it all the time."
Everybody
on VOD."
does.
He's like, "Yeah, this guy created it." And it was just some random guy that walked in the elevator. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's interesting that you're here at the Twitch. I bet you we're gonna have rechat soon for Twitch." And
Yeah,
sure
they
enough,
literally hired him, and then he made like an even better one. Apparently, you can post like VOD moderate as well.
what do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
You can actually like if you want to like ban somebody or somebody, you can actually like remove their comments if somebody is like
Oh.
totally spamming or something like that, and you want to get that out of there.
Wow.
So we can like catch criminals after the fact, man. Like, so you might not be safe chat with anything you say because it might be seen again, and then you might be banned for it later. Like, but you're gonna be punished for past crimes. You're gonna be like, why am I banned in this channel suddenly? Oh yeah, we watched that past thing. He called me a neckbeard. So guess what? I didn't.
Wait,
catch
so
it.
is it not live yet? or-
It is. It started
well,
like yesterday.
It says
When
chat
we launched
messages will be
Twitch-
gradually added to recorded videos over the next few weeks.
There you go. Yeah, well, they did the little Twitch drop down in chat like 2 days ago. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on the
yeah.
way. It should be here any time now. So
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that makes it more confusing for the average viewer?
100%.
I
Jumping
think
in
Yeah, absolutely.
dude, at this point,
they're like,
any
is this?
game
There's
is
always the question, like, is this live or not? You know. So whenever we do like the replays of, like, I've very seldom done this, but the replays of old past broadcasts,
Yeah.
people are always, even you can have it on the screen going, or somewhere going, not live, and people are still like, is this live? So then they're gonna walk in on like a rebroadcast, and it's gonna like show the Twitch chat. Can it go through that? Does it work through that system of the?
I don't know.
here's the big thing. There's a golden way to let chat know what's going on. Twitch has not yet found that way. They're working on it, I'm sure, and they're trying to do it. Like for instance, everyone has good suggestions. Like one suggestion we had for a while was, your chat box where you type in chat, well, putting a message you have to click there explaining the situation for replays, for instance. So if you went to chat, you would see a thing like, please understand you're watching a replay. None of this
That's a
chat
good
is
call.
live and everything. And you actually hit quick. Or like when you go to a video or a VOD, before the VOD starts, a splash screen appears. Please understand you're about to watch a VOD that has been already recorded. All the chat is pre-recorded and you cannot interact with chat. If you understand this, please hit accept to go from there.
I
It's
really like the chat box one is great because right now it just literally says send a message like in
Yeah.
the chat box, and if that like small, like slightly less opacity font was there and it just said what you're currently watching is a read broadcast, send a message if you want. Like, and you're obviously only going to hit people that are watching the rebroadcast with you.
But another thing is, and it's really tough for Twitch to do this because we all of Twitch is the testers for this stuff. They
Right,
don't
yes.
have they
They
do
don't
have
have
select groups, but
Closed group. yeah.
we're the people that are giving the feedback. We're the people that are using these brand new hot off the press features. So it's one of those things that Twitch is always going to have this problem. Anytime they introduce a new feature that's outside the normal Twitch sphere, they're going to have these issues. Now, eventually, hopefully, they're working on a system to get this information to viewers better, easier, in a way that forces them to understand what they're doing before they get to their content. A hard barrier, which they haven't really done yet. They've tried a little bit of it, but it hasn't really been done yet. And you know, once we see that stuff really get implemented, you know, it should help out. But the point is, they're developing a lot of awesome shit. Like this is stuff that a lot of us has been waiting for since we started on Twitch. And you know, once VODs get more monetization stuff, and we can actually become, you know, somewhat competitive with YouTube in that regard, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we can monetize our VODs, and they're doing things we can't do on YouTube. You know, it's like, what do we do? So yeah. But it, you know, it's a great step in the right direction, but still a long road ahead.
It's also really cool in terms of the fact that that guy made something out of love for Twitch, and now he's probably got a full-time job at Twitch. I mean, that happened. Really, I don't know if you guys saw that today, but let me make sure. Let me just go over to this Twitter to make sure that was actually announced before I blow.
That happens a lot, though, man.
No, that was announced. Yeah, pretty sure that's
I've run into people who have just like fallen.
Okay, here it is. Yeah,
assets, and then have gotten a job at Twitch, or something big has come out of it.
So here you go. Gears Art is now the 2D illustrator role at Twitch. That was announced today. So he's actually working full time.
It's announced today?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
So Gears, who does emotes for a billion people. I think Coh's got some. I got some. He did a bunch of shirts, I think, for Coh. He's got
he's done a lot of stuff.
He's been everywhere on Twitch. He's actually a full-time employee now at Twitch. So.
It's so funny to see like notable figures popping up in Twitch that have nothing to do with streaming. Julia, people know who Julia is because of, you know, the emotes and the art that she does, you know, Gears. There's a whole handful of people that don't necessarily stream, but they're still popular or important in this space, which is
another great example. Even if they don't have like hardcore, you know, marketable like programming skills or art skills, like take Moblord, for instance. He was just great at being community oriented. He helped a ton of streamers. He never really streamed himself, was all over the place. Now he's a Twitch admin. It's like, that's perfect. And now he can take all that stuff that was helping all these little streamers up a level to where it can help other people. Like it's fantastic to see a company be so personable with the community of the people that use it.
It's fantastic and refreshing.
The point where it's as big as it is. Like,
and it's amazing that these people can get these type of gigs, and it's a career. You know, a proper career path that what Twitch and YouTube and all this stuff is actually crafted and created through content creation on the internet, where it is the equivalent and getting close to television, like even closer and closer and closer. And these people are making decent wages, good rates, can live comfortably, and have something where they can actually be creative and thrive. That's,
I mean, they got to move to San Fran, but
and they're doing what that's my biggest thing, is they're doing what they love, you know?
Yeah.
It's all started as a passion project for them.
And it did for a lot of us too. You know, like we didn't
jumped
on thinking we were going to be the best next, whatever. I mean, somebody maybe, but a lot of people I talk to here, you know, that stream a lot and are, you know, kind of big in the space. We didn't jump in wanting to be big. We just wanted.
And now Elo's the next Casey Tron.
Now I'm here spitting shit about sellout stuff about autists, you know, or I can't even remember the name.
There you go.
Reactor.
You get that question a lot too. Like everyone asks is like, what do I do to start? Like, how do I get into this? And like the thing I always tell people is, well, make the things that you want to see. Like if there's something that you've always wanted to see, like video wise or streaming wise, just make that. Like do that.
Be passionate about it in that sense.
And it might not be like efficient or financially sound, but when I got big on YouTube, or quote unquote big, when the first amount of attention I got, it was with live action tutorials for fighting games, where it was a similar thing with Angry Video Gamer, where characters would come into like my house and like invade my space.
That's where I first saw
play those characters. And it's called Assist Me. Hugely expensive, and it was just because I wanted to do it, because I didn't think there was a really high caliber tutorial video that existed on the internet for fighting games, and I wanted to make that. So it took like a year and a half of me making it, and before I ever saw really any money out of it in any way at all. And it was hugely expensive. And
Here's
it was
video.
This is the first one. Oh, you're showing the worst
I know,
one.
I'm showing the worst.
Oh no! Oh my God! Look at this.
Look at
turn it off.
Look at this young nerd.
Turn it off.
This is how dreams become.
This is like
This
6
is how
years ago,
dreams are
dude.
born.
On YouTube.
How about this? This is more apt. This is how dreams are hatched.
I'll find the other ones.
It's hatched. It's not necessarily born. It's more of a creature of intrigue and kind of ugly, and it just is hatched, and then you
Type
make
like assist me
Max,
Deadpool.
That
and you'll
just
find,
made my day. I
You'll
just want you to
find a
know
better
that was
one.
the highlight of my day. That last 10 seconds. Thank
So-
you for that.
The cool thing is that this stuff like just breeds like new ideas, and the greatest thing about Twitch is that it gave me a platform where people can watch you directly and support you if they want. And the fact that these people have supported in ways through subscriptions or donations has allowed us to do crazy things that I never thought I'd be able to do. We literally had Jason Voorhees kill us live on Twitch. He murdered us on Twitch like earlier this year, and everyone was like, what the hell happened? And then Jason Voorhees was the stream for a while. Like we've been able to do live action interactable films on Twitch, and we're planning another one very soon. But these things are ridiculously time consuming, and they take like 2 months to shoot and to plan out. And they involve a lot of things going very well. And I've been lucky that the 2 we've done have actually gone well. Nice. And the fact that Twitch acts as a platform where people can support that is incredible.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm just watching your Dr.
I want the volume for this video.
I'm gonna need the link to this when we're done today.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. Just look up "Assist Me" on YouTube. You'll find it.
It's just "Assist Me," and then "Assist Me Doom" or "Assist Me Deadpool."
Just assist me in general.
Before we go, I feel like I should know this, but I don't know the connection. Can you explain Yo Video Games?
So Yo Video Games was I had the main channel, which was like focused on fighting games, and I was playing like nothing but fighting games for like a couple years or many years straight. And I was making a lot of videos around them and slowly hating myself because I was playing really bad online in fighting games, and it was frustrating and kind of eating at me on the inside. Which is the reason I stopped playing like Ultimate Marvel 3, which is kind of what I started with on YouTube that got me a little bit of attention. And then I made a secondary channel, which I had the idea of just calling it Yo Video Games. And friend had put together a logo, which was like the MTV Raps logo, which is like a take on that. And it was just a playthrough channel that I could play something else that wasn't fighting games. And it essentially just being Yo Video Games is just the collection of myself and a few of my friends who I've known for like 5 to 15 years. And we just get together on the weekends on the Twitch channel and play anything like fighting games, regular playthroughs, anything like that. And it's just all 4 of us messing around. And the best ones are when we play Mario Party.
I saw you guys were playing Mario Party 3 like a couple days ago. Yeah.
See, here's where it gets hilarious.
Today,
I was told by a random viewer that you used to host an MTV show called Yo Video Games.
Oh, that's true. We're going to say that's true. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that's what I heard, and that you moved to Twitch. So that's awesome. And congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hosted TRL for about 2 years as well. And
and then I think that Carson Daly guy picked up after you, right?
I was the president of Guam right after that, and then Twitch. Okay. So we're going to go with that.
Where are you in there?
You're now the president of, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the movie? I want to say was it Big Lebowski? Was it Big? You were starring.
It's pronounced Lebowski.
Yes, I'm actually Jeff Bridges as well. I'm Jeff Bridges, Nicolas Cage, and the guy from Nickelback all at the same time.
Yes. Oh, the guy from Nickelback.
Chad.
This is how you remind me. Okay, this is how you remind me.
You should just just get like memorize some popular lyrics from Nickelback songs, and then cater those.
Look at that photograph.
or
no, just be like, look at this photograph. It's just you with like a bunch of guys like hanging out at a rock concert. Just troll that way.
Just be a picture of us playing Mario Party.
Yeah, that too.
When we're talking about Nickelback, you could also just hold up a plate of dog feces.
Everyone will get it.
I used to be in Nickelback.
Everyone will get it. 100%.
I'm gonna sing. Look at this horse shit.
There you go. 2 other things. I feel like we should probably talk about TwitchCon because it was finally announced for 2016.
Thank God it's in San Diego, man. I love it. I can drive
there. San Diego. That's the big news. Everyone kind of knows somewhat what to expect from TwitchCon because I mean there was one last year and it was in San Fran, but this one's in San Diego. So a quick 5 minutes on if you guys like that or not. Why do you like that, Max? You into it?
It's in driving distance from me, and where it was in San Francisco, it was in the heart of San Francisco.
Right.
Which was pretty difficult to manage in general. Like middle of San Francisco, I've always hated it.
Okay.
You know, I I went to San Diego one time. I've only been there one time, and that was for the H1Z1 thing. You were there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was there at the airport with you. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I'm telling you what, man, I really, really, really love San Diego. Like,
Pretty
it was one
town.
of those things where I was leaving the next day, and I was like, man, I could maybe even like live here. Like I
Wow.
liked it that much. Like, I just immediately had this connection to San Diego. I have no idea why. I just did, and I love it. So I'm glad that it's going to be there for that. My only concern is that, man, I really like the setup that they had in San Francisco for the convention. That was so cool. For those of you who didn't make it there, this is kind of a rough layout of how it went down. There were like 3 levels. There was the base level, which you walked in at. There was a second level and a third level, and they all had different content on them. But what was cool about it was the main way that you went between these levels were these 2 escalators that crisscrossed kind of up like this between the levels. And you would see people kind of going in between different floors. Hey, hey man, what's going on? Hey, oh my God, it's Ella. Oh, it's Ko. Oh, it's good to see JP. And the thing about TwitchCon that was really fun was the community, right? It's very much what we were always kind of wanting to be around these people, to spend time with these people. And the venue really lent itself to that. It really felt very community based, even in just the way they set up how you travel and how you so I hope it doesn't lose that. That is what I hope it doesn't lose. I think
that'll be there regardless of where you go.
I think so,
but
and I think so, but it's a small concern, but it's the only concern really that I have.
I understand
Did they
that
announce if it's at the convention center?
it's at the San Diego Convention Center. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of that. I've been to Comic-Con quite a few times. It's going to be even bigger.
Yeah,
More
that's the weird thing. It's at the place where Comic-Con is at, and that place is usually for 100,000 people.
Dude,
I'm sure
that
they'll split off like a third of it. But
Yeah.
That's one of the things I loved about the last TwitchCon. Like everyone you knew and everyone you saw knew about Twitch. You immediately had that connection, but at the same time, you could breathe and move around. And it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a PAX Prime where you walk through the show floor, and on the other side, you're just like sweaty and tired and
Yeah.
hot. And all that. So I don't know. I gotta say though, San Diego's awesome. That's fantastic. I would love to see either another one or them move to more central though, because there's a lot of us that like
it's a big trip.
Travel, man.
It's
like
a big
that's,
trip,
That's an
yeah.
entire day of traveling for a lot of us.
The other thing too,
rough.
2 things. One, I feel like it not being in San Fran actually benefits them on a business side of things, because hopefully more people will show up because hotel prices won't be astronomical because you're not in San Francisco.
And then San Diego's like designed around Comic-Con.
Yeah, so
Like,
they are a tour. They are a city that has every year, like I said, 100,000 plus people infiltrate that city and just fucking destroy it. So
Pretty
they're
much.
used to that. They're used to that. And the other thing too is that it's a 3-day event. It's not a 2-day event this time. It's 3 days.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, cool.
I hope there's a roller coaster.
So
That'd be-
that'll be interesting to see like how that works. Like I thought 2 days was kind of good last year. I enjoyed the shorter con.
Yeah, it didn't overstay its welcome with 2 days. I felt it was like the perfect amount of time. I'm kind of curious, like what events they're gonna have and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they've learned.
If they wanted to do it all week, I'd be down for it. I'd just show up for 2 days and then go home. I like having the extra day. Like I mean, I would rather have the extra day than not have the extra day. So if we do want to leave a day early, you always have that option.
It is a little selfish, but I hope one of those days is like broadcaster only day or partner only day. I don't know if they would do that. I don't know if they could.
Why you would want to do that. And Twitch chat may get on to you about saying that, but I see why you want to do that.
Oh,
There
yeah,
should
yeah.
be a chat only day.
Yeah, chat only day. Yeah.
I'm okay
Where
with
it's
that,
just
too. I
chat.
won't show up one day. Everyone from Twitch can show up from the chat, and none of the partners are allowed in. And I'm totally okay with
We
that.
have
Just
to, like-
thousands and thousands of strangers that don't know each other. Let's put them all in a room.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And all the partners and the broadcasters get like 4 levels up in a big glass window, and we just look down on the chat. Just see them all like SimCity engage with each other.
What if they
Maybe
just
we can do
gave?
both. We can do both. Like the top level can be all Twitch, Twitch chat, right?
Yeah.
And then at the bottom level, we can have all of the partners, and they can like throw bananas and shit at
And
us.
then a level between them, and it's IRL sub mode only.
There you go.
Only subs,
That
only
is too
subs
real.
are let into that one of your specific broadcasters.
Oh my God.
Mods only.
We can do this by wristband. We can do it by stamp.
No, what you do
Oh,
is in the Twitch goodie, because they give out goodie. You have to give out goodie bags for people. in the Twitch goodie bag, everyone gets a mask, and these masks are of popular emotes. So someone gets a Kappa, other people get a Bible thump, but then they just wear those masks, and that's how you differentiate between everyone. It works out 100%.
Like a Twitch masquerade convention.
Yeah, and it just has a Kappa, or it has like all the popular. Yeah.
I think we just came up with the ultimate like promo thing. You know how there was like cards last year with cool artwork that you can trade?
Kappa cards, yeah.
There should be masks of an emote from your channel. Like one mask of like an emote from your channel of something that you can choose that's like a face. That'd be really funny.
That'd be good. I'd be into it.
I think my best emote is of my brother.
Yeah, it can't be you. That's too self-indulgent. It can't be you. It's got to be some goofy cartoon something on my dog.
Me, but like, what if people start going around the mask of my brother?
Then it's hilarious.
Dude, can you imagine an army of itmeJP happies?
That'd be great. I'd be into it.
Oh god!
All of the
horror movie.
Yeah, all the blank W emotes too would be huge. Like soda W. Everyone's got their own W emote now, so that'd be good. I'm trying to see if there's any other Twitch. There was stuff about the Teespring global partner merch is up. I think me and Koh both have stuff up for that now. But yeah, what you look like you're gonna say something negative about it.
Well, okay. I'm on day 3 of my shirt campaign, and that's awesome. Scroll down to check it out. And so basically,
you call me to sell out. How dare you, Koh?
But no, it's really cool. But the only thing that kind of bugs me a little bit about it, we're having a Bike Man raid. Thanks, Bike Man.
There you go.
But the only thing that's a little bit weird about it is it's awesome that there's EU shipping, no question. That's fantastic. But it doesn't track.
What do you mean?
So like I actually, while we were here, we just sold our 200. We've sold 200 shirts. Yeah. But if you scroll down, it says 128 because it doesn't link the US and EU. So and that really is weird for goals because I've been talking to the Teespring guys. And I'm like, okay, so how is it going to work with the goal? Like, what if it doesn't meet the goal US, but it does? You know, like
you can see the goals, but
there's some kinks to work out. Is the short answer, and I think they're working on it right now, which is great.
I was gonna say if you want to see your own number, not the public seeing it, you can just go to your dashboard and go to the back end, go to the partner affiliate bullshit, click on that, and then go to campaigns, and it'll combine both numbers there. But also in the API that Teespring provides, you can just pull those numbers and just have Barry do that.
Dude, we already have a command.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but on the actual front-facing site, it doesn't say.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that at the bottom because I've had a lot of people. Anytime I've been like, "Hey, we just hit so and so shirts," people would scroll down and be like, "No, you didn't."
Exactly. Yeah, that happens a lot
it's
too.
Like
liar.
Yeah,
I know. What
you're just making the number bigger, so we're more inclined to buy it. It's like, yeah, that's it. You caught me.
But it's just been hopefully they're fixing it soon. So
I've got kind of a unique perspective on this just because of the time slot that I stream in. It was funny because this was released, right? And what is it specifically? It's like what 60% off the shipping costs or something like that.
Well, it's just cheaper now for European residents because they
actually have an EU shipping thing now.
So how much cheaper is what I'm asking?
The bullet points
numbers.
Someone who ordered my old one had to pay $40 for a shirt, and they went in this time and they paid under $30. So
okay, so that's a pretty dramatic.
It's pretty.
The
big.
bullet points are 40% discount on average shipping costs, 30% improvement on average shipping times,
Max,
support in time European time zones in 18 languages, and broadcaster merch pages in local currencies and languages. So
well, here's the thing is that I have done shirt campaigns in the past, and I usually end up selling between 100 and 300 shirts. The first campaign went really well, and we sold like 700, but I usually sell kind of a smaller amount of shirts, and I've always considered it just to be part of my time slot. Like I go out to a lot of EU. Like I think my biggest fan base is EU.
Sure.
So whenever I did these campaigns, that was the biggest complaint that I got. So I actually moved to TeePublic, which is a really great way to sell t-shirts. And it's awesome. They don't have the Twitch thing on the patch, but that's what I did. Mm-hmm. Well, Twitch actually sent me a message directly, somebody from Twitch, and it was one of the Teespring guys, and they told me 56% of my views that came to my shirt, just the views, people who clicked through, came from EU specifically. 56% of it. Sure. So they were like reaching out, going like, "Hey, we would really like you to do a campaign now that we've dropped this down to see."
Oh yeah, they did the same thing with me and Strippin'.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I was like, I just kind of biding my time because I didn't want to just jump right in. So I'm kind of waiting, but I'll probably be doing a t-shirt campaign.
You can actually like pull up the analytics on. They actually have analytics now on Teespring, which is really cool.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I'm the same way. It's the click-throughs are primarily European based. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just thought it's interesting because for my stream specifically, this is like really good news, right? For,
Oh yeah.
to make it easier for the people that want to buy, because I heard it 1,000 times, you know.
Cool
It's
thing
really
is-
funny you say that,
I
Elo.
don't want
I
to
got
spend $40 or $50 on a shirt, and I totally get it, you know.
Yeah, it's
right.
expensive ass shirt.
I got that exact same email, Elo, with 57%.
There you go.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other cool thing with the analytics is it actually tells you which shirts were bought more, and like when it breaks it down by like color, so you can actually know if like, hey, should we not put that color on the next shirt sale?
Oh,
So
that's cool.
it's cool information to have.
Really?
It's actually analytics to have, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Is there anything else that we need to? We didn't
covered
really.
a lot today.
Yeah, we didn't really talk too much about Far Cry Primal, but I think I'm the only person that's played it. I think Co, you're waiting for the PC release.
I'm waiting for PC.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would. That's totally fine. I think it's probably their better call. So we'll probably just have our conversation March 1st when that comes out.
That game really came out on consoles first and not with
Dude, it came out on
simultaneous
consoles
PC release?
There's a
week
week
early.
delay between the two. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That sounds like a push.
Not only did it come out for consoles early, no FOV slider, and definitely console FOV. So it's been driving a lot of people absolutely crazy.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep. That's kind of ridiculous.
Is Far Cry?
what's up?
Is Far Cry?
Yeah. Far
He's
Cry
talking
Primal,
Far
yeah.
Cry.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about Prime.
I'm not talking about his dog.
No. Yeah, I was just like, wait, is he calling Max's dog Far Cry?
No, I'm not.
The dog is kind of crying, kind of far away from the mic, so
Sorry.
maybe that's what he's saying.
I'm sorry.
No,
The doorbell went off,
Are
and he
we-
doesn't.
are we-
catch.
hunting right now? Is this-
I was reading something, and then I was trying to catch up and be like, "Are we talking about Primal?" And then you guys looked at me like I was trying to make some kind of weird connection between the dog and the. No, that's not what happened. That's a dog, and Far Cry Primal's a video game.
That is a dog. All right, I think that's good. We'll talk about whatever we didn't talk about next week when Zeke gets back. So let's do some shout outs because I know everyone needs to get out of here. Co's got to do a sponsored stream and all that stuff. So Co, why don't you start us off with your new improved shout out card?
Oh, looks good. As always, big thank you to JP for being here. It's been awesome, and as always, Frozen the show. Big thank you to Elohim and Max. It was so good having you here, dude. Thank you for the
No
great
problemo, guys. So much fun talking to you.
the good vibes. It has been awesome. Anyway, I'm CohhCarnage. I stream every single day. Currently working with the Dark Souls 2 series. Gonna be finishing that soon. Then we've got Dishonored DLC coming up, which we just did a playthrough last weekend. Oh, we didn't even get to talk about Dishonored. Oh man, such a great game.
Next week.
And then we've got going to be doing some Atlas Reactor right after this, checking it out for an hour or so. More Overwatch, all sorts of fun stuff. But anyway, you're already here. If you haven't been here before, I'm here every day at 8 a.m. and would love if you hit that follow button and hope to see you and get to know you soon. Thank you. And as always, big thanks to my fellow castmates. It's been a really fun show.
There you go. Elo, do some shout outs.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Thank you again, Co and JP and Zeke for having me on the show. I do really appreciate it. And thank you, chat, for indulging all my opinions, popular or unpopular. I really appreciate you guys being here today and watching the broadcast. I myself stream usually really early in the mornings, about 4 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're looking for something at the end of the night or early in the morning before work or something like that, come out and check us out. We have a great community. We have a really solid chat. We like to have a lot of fun. I'm very vulgar. It's been said that, and I think Co said it today, that Co is more of the nice wife figure that you go home to. I am the person you go out. I'm the mistress.
Elo's the bad girl.
Yeah, I'm the bad girl. And if you want to be with this bad girl, you come say hello one morning, early in the morning, hopefully while we're drinking. And
If she's not already left yet.
I don't. God damn it, Co. I'll steal your wallet. Okay, and I'm done. And time.
And scene. There you go. Max, last but not least, our guest for the week. Feel free to do some shout outs, man. There you go.
All right.
There you go. Don't be
Very
nervous.
serious. Very serious. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I want to let you know, between all these people, if you vote for me, I plan to make change around this platform.
You're gonna make Co have flashbacks to the Intel GG.
Oh,
Stop
what?
streamer. Don't
I'm
do
sorry.
it.
Sorry
Don't do
about
it.
that.
Please stop.
I'll try. I try to stream as much as I possibly can. Fighting games, everything like that. A lot of goofiness. And if you choose my channel, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're gonna live on. We're gonna survive. Today we celebrate going to my Twitch channel and
you
checking
go.
it out if you want to give it a chance. Thank you.
There you go. Are you hyped for Independence Day 2?
Dude, I am. That movie is like the most basic, like, epitome of excitement. Humans versus aliens. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. It's just something primal about that shit. It makes me
true.
really happy.
That's true. All right, I'll do all my shout outs after we close out because we do need to get out here. Co's got to be online soon. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back next week with Zeke and on Zeke's channel over at twitch.tv/Ezekiel III. So see you guys then. Have a great evening. We're out. Bye-bye.